Alright, we push this project out of the way. This is my broken garage door opener. The drive shaft on it busted off, but I guess that's part of being a dad and a homeowner, is fixing everything around the house. Part of my job. But today we're going to be covering how to replace the return spring on the turn signal on a Jeep Wrangler.
JeepSolid.com.
And here's the part we're going to be using, part number 49312. And I think this is actually for like an XJ, but it's the closest spring I could find that would fit. So let's put it in. Disconnect the battery cable. The horn just pries straight off. The spring comes off. There's 3 7/16 bolts here. So the wire comes off. This plate lifts out of the way. This is a 13/16 nut. And the steering wheel lifts off. This plate lifts off. And with a little prying, this comes off. And we're down to this cover, which if you kind of pull out on these tabs here, kind of lifts out of the way. Little ring that comes off. So here's the hardest part right here. So we're down to needing to take, there's a little snap ring right here. We gotta try to get that guy off, except he's really hard to grab a hold of. You gotta get a couple little instruments underneath there, kind of open them up so that you can get this plate off. So now that I have a punch under that ring on one side, I'm actually going to take a chisel and go around and pull this ring up all the way around to get it to pop off. So my turn signal here has been giving me issues. It hasn't been catching right and clicking off properly. And when I look in here, down here at the bottom, I see there's a busted spring right here. And one last piece here that comes off. And this is the new spring on the right, and you can see it's just missing this little tab up at the top. But that just helps kind of hold it in place. I think it'll be okay the way it sets in the steering column. I think it'll be just fine. But they look like they're exactly the same size otherwise. Now it's just a matter of placing the springs. And then as the turn signal return hits the springs, looks like they'll move just fine. And this one, these are missing this one extra little tab, like I said. Just kind of helps hold it in place down there, but I think it'll be okay because this plastic tab here is going to hold that spring just fine. So I think that'll work. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of dielectric grease and I'm going to just kind of lube up some of these components that are going to be moving when we do move our turn signal, make sure everything is all lubed up nice. All right, now I'm just going to put everything back in the reverse order and put it all back together. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and have a good day. And one final tip, when you're trying to get this snap ring down in place, it's really hard to get it pushed on. So the best way is to go ahead and put it all back together, put these pieces on, even though that little snap ring isn't set yet, you're actually going to use this with your nut to act like a press and drive it on. Then by tightening this down, it's going to push that snap ring into place.